What's up everyone, and welcome to another cryptocurrency market update. In these videos you will learn how to use technical analysis to forecast price movements in your favorite cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others, and also see where we are looking to buy and sell these crypto assets ourselves. So let's get into it here with Bitcoin, and then we'll dive into Polkadot, which is another fertile opportunity that I just found today that we will take a look at in a moment. So on the monthly time frame, we can see that we were due for some monthly drawdown after a significant rise in price after, several months of just going parabolic essentially. Last month we had what we would consider a bearish spinning top candlestick. Now, these candlesticks are where you have a long upper and lower wick and then a small bodied candle where the close is below the open. And we can see that we had some above average sell volume and an overbought RSI. And the prices subsequently broke the low from April at 47K and were subsequently trading down since that point. So we'll see what we end up doing here. If we look at the pivots, this can give us kind of a guide for where the price may go. If we get a close below the R2 on the monthly time frame, likely we will go down to the R1 pivot, which is down here at about 37,700. If we go above the R3 pivot over the next few months and we close a monthly candle above that, we'll probably push up to the R4, which is up at about 80K. So let's look at the weekly time frame. Now, if we're looking at the weekly is looking not good. This is not what we wanted to see if we were a bull. So on the weekly time frame, what we can see here is we had a hidden bullish divergence in the RSI with a lower low in the RSI and a higher low in price, but we didn't get much follow through, and subsequently we've seen a pretty big drawdown this week. Now, we went below this low right here at 47K, and we've been trading above that ever since. But we'll have to see how we can trade on the lower term time frames to see if in the next day and 3 hours we can pull up a little bit higher for us to close at a reasonable level that over the next coming weeks we can try and see if we can go up from there. The only way we would go up from here, in my opinion, is if this was what we would consider a liquidity grab. So that would mean we're triggering stop losses below this low, so then we can get fuel for the big players in the market to eventually go above the previous all-time high here at about 65K for a new all-time high. We can see that we have above average bear volume here, which is not good for bullish continuation. If we get a weekly candle close below the R2, our first support level is this weekly support level right here. Now, if I'm thinking about monthly lows being set, given that we just set a monthly high up here, what I'm thinking is a bounce around here or a bounce around this zone back from December 7th, which is around 19.5. And the reason for that is because those are our main two support zones on the weekly time frame, which is the next highest time frame after the monthly. So this is where we had our bull trend here, and we came up. After we came up, we have not tested this level since. If we come back down to this level at 37.6 down to about 28.4, that's going to be our main support level. If we look at the Ichimoku Cloud, the Kijun will be right around that level, which is at about 35.4 right now. Daily time frame. So if we look at the daily time frame, yesterday we had, was it yesterday? No. Day before yesterday, we closed and we had a confirmed daily bear trend, which is not good for the bulls because when you confirm a daily bear trend, you now have the momentum pushing the price downward. And so that's what we're seeing right here with a high, low, lower high, and then lower low. And then we saw another lower high, and then we'll see if we get a lower low here, or if we can get a higher low. That would be the first sign that the bulls may try and pull up from here. You can see that the main support level that we're operating on right now, which is pretty much the bulls' last line of support here, is this daily S1 pivot level right here, which is at about 48.2, and then this gray zone right here, which we've tested once, twice, and now 3 times. So the more times we test the support zone, the weaker it gets. And with the momentum pushing the price down on the lower term time frames, this isn't looking very good for the bulls for continuation. They're going to need to change the trend on the lower term time frames and establish a support level that they can then trade off of. If they don't do that, then there's really not a good chance that this is going to end up going well for them in the short term. If we go below this gray zone, you can see there's really no support zones until we get down to this candle from February 7th back here, which starts at about 39.5. So it's pretty much free falling, and now we're free falling. So that's about what's going to happen if we close below this this gray zone. So one of the ways you can play this is very simple. If we get 2 daily candle closes below this gray zone, you can go short on a retest of this zone with your stop loss above, and then target the dark or the light blue zone down here. Daily resistance levels above. If we start trending above, we have this gray zone back here from 29th April where we had 2 tests of it and then we broke through it. And then we have this fresh daily resistance zone up here, which starts at about 54,556. 4-hour time frame, real quick. 4-hour time frame is not looking terrible in terms of the bull case, but it's also not looking necessarily good. So what we have here is we had a bull pattern, which is where this rectangle came from. So we had a low, high, higher, low. A high, low. What am I doing here? Low, high, higher, low, and then a higher high. So this was support for about half a second here, and then we traded through it, closed 2 candles below it, right here, resistance, boom, we go down. Now, we closed with a wick that was actually pretty bullish here. So we went below this wick here and this wick here, but then we closed back above both of those. So that's what we would want to see if we want to see the bulls try and make a move here. But the bulls, to regain control, are going to have to start trending bullish with a low, high, higher low, and then higher high. Once we see that, this pattern, which we saw here, we need to see this actually hold up with a retest of support and then another higher high. When we start to see that, then we can increase our confidence that we're starting to have a bottom. These longer lower wicks are a good sign, but these are only on the 4-hour time frame. Let me see something real quick. 33.19. Oh, we have the makings of a hidden bullish divergency on the RSI with a lower low in price and a higher low in the RSI. So if we go above this 4-hour high at 49K, that will be a hidden bullish divergence in the 4-hour time frame, which could potentially propel us up in the short term. So we'll see if we get that over the coming hours. Moving over to DOT. This is Polkadot, and Polkadot is looking very good in terms of the classic setup that we look for on the Ichimoku Cloud indicator. So the good old Ichimoku Cloud, even if we weren't looking at the Ichimoku Cloud, let's stay away from that for a second and just look at this black candle right here. This is a very simple pattern. Once again, it's just the bull pattern of the low, high, higher low, higher high. And if we get this candle close above this high, this pink line, this becomes a support zone. So that's in 2.5 hours. If that does end up happening, this is a very strong support zone for the bulls to hold. And something to keep in mind is a little bit of confluence for that. If we look at the Ichimoku Cloud indicator, when it was trending bullish here with the Tenkin above the Kijun, price above both of those in the cloud green, we had a very nice run up here in price up to about 46.7. Subsequently, we had a drawdown and the Tenkin crossed below the Kijun right here, which is bearish. We saw the price react to that, but then subsequently recovered and went right back into a bull trend here. Now, the cloud is still green. The trend is validated as a daily bull trend here if we get today's daily candle close above this blue zone. And the Tenkin, you can see if you look closely here, if I move this blue box, you can see the Tenkin just crossed above the Kijun, which is this red line. And when that happens, that is the most bullish pattern. So this cross above the cloud when the price is in a bull trend is very, very bullish. So then the way that you can play this is you can, put an entry at the top of the support level there, and then you can do another one on the daily Kijun level, which is going to move up based on the daily candle that we end up printing today. You could put 50% of your order here, 50% of your order there, and then stop loss below the daily support zone. And then you can target, the pivot. You could target the R2 pivot here, which gives you about a 2.56 risk reward. If roughly these pink lines, you have the midline of that, it's roughly 2.5 risk reward. So it's good risk reward. This trade is going to look a lot better if Bitcoin ends up pulling up on this 4-hour time frame and going past this gray zone. Then this trade looks a lot more favorable, in my opinion. And that's where I will look to most likely enter the trade. So we'll see what happens. So that's what I got for this one, guys. If you like this video, give it a like down below and subscribe for future educational content around cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, your favorite technologies. And if you haven't already, check out our beginner technical analysis course that we just released on Leutheria.com. We are currently running a 20% off discount special for early bird Leutherian supporters like yourself who want to learn the fundamental elements of technical analysis so they can not only forecast price movements in their favorite cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others, but also generate consistent profit doing so. So check that out, and until tomorrow, onward and upward.